right, folks. Welcome back to BEG Wrestling. We are here.
Here.
You're already a little delayed, but listen, folks. Incredible, absolutely incredible show ahead of us tonight. Kevin with us. Make sure you like and subscribe. We need your support. And, folks, you can call in live to join the conversation here after our short intro. But, Kevin, obviously tonight, man, we're going to be previewing the Cy-Hawk duel coming up this weekend. We're going to be breaking down, right after that, we're going to be breaking down our individual and team ranking updates, which are updated weekly. So we're going to be doing that, and then a lot of other things. And then, folks, we got a lot of changes coming up here in BEG Wrestling that we're implementing here. So along with that, here coming up in the next couple weeks will be a membership, an exclusive membership offering that, look, we're looking to expand BEG Wrestling. And in order for us to do that, you know, we need to find some additional funding. We're going to do that. Obviously, nothing's going to change with the weekly shows as they are right now, but we're going to be adding some additional exclusive material for everyone. So, folks, it's now Thursday. Did I even not forgot to even mention our Fridays live are now moved to Thursday, Kevin. So, and, you know, we did that. As a result, we took a poll in our BEG Wrestling Facebook group chat, and pretty overwhelming that everyone preferred Thursday evening. So we're moving to Thursday. We're not going to compete with Friday night duels at all, but we have some incredible wrestling coming up this weekend. We've already had some incredible wrestling. Kevin, how have you been, man? Welcome to the show.
Good, buddy. How are you?
I'm good, man. Fired up, dude. Fired up for this weekend.
Heck yeah, man. Great weekend. Tons of action going on.
All right, you want to get right into this, man? Let's get into this Cy-Hawk duel. You want to break this down?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, man.
We have the lineups, folks, here. So we also have our own rankings, which, you know, if we want to dive right into this here at 125 would be really the only variable, Kevin, from ours. But I'll let you go ahead here to start off.
Yeah, Tarakina originally was trying to wrestle off at 133, and he lost to Frost, so he's back down to 25. So kind of an interesting matchup with him and Peterson in the fact that we don't have a lot of info on Peterson to go on, you know. And with Tarakina, he can go out and have great wins, or he can lose to anybody. So that one, who knows? I'm gonna go with Peterson. I think that he's got the edge here, but you just don't know with Tarakina what you're gonna get.
Okay, that's really. I'm going to go Peterson here. Really.
Yeah.
All right, and
I think probably a decision either way, but I think I'd give the edge to Peterson as well.
Yeah, I mean, we you know, it shows there on the screen. What is that? What rankings are those on the screen, Kevin? Do you know that? Is that Intermat Wrestling?
Yeah, I believe it is Intermat.
Not reflected on ours. You know, Cale Peterson's up to 16th ranked, so. I believe we're going to Cale Peterson by a decision here at 125 for EIWA. I think we're both going to agree on that, right? So let's move on to 133. Let's clarify. This is, Saturday, right? 6 p.m.
Yep.
On Big Ten Network. Big Ten Plus, folks.
Big Ten Plus, yeah. So we got Evan Frost here, which Evan Frost was injured. That's why he wasn't at the All-Star. He came back, wrestled in a duel. He looks fine. He's going against Drake Ayala, who is having kind of a frustrating year thus far this early. You know, he went out, got a tech fall right away, but he did get taken down in that match. And then he had a big loss, which I think the score was 15-11, which is crazy. So that, you know, he's kind of one. I don't know. People are second guessing whether he should have stayed at 125, but that might not be an option with him. To me, he looks like a regular sized. 33 pounder. So, but with this one, man, I think all the 25 pounders that are moving up to 33, I don't think they're going to have much luck this year. You know, I think that Ayala, Noto, Davis, I don't really see any of them making the podium, to be honest with you. So I'm going to go Evan Frost here. I think it's going to be I think it'd be about a 3-point match. So I'm going decision Evan Frost. What are you thinking?
I agree, man. I'm real high on Evan Frost. You've heard me in past weeks talked about Evan Frost, and you know, I think he has a chance to crack the top 3 here. But so I am high on Evan Frost. I'm going Evan Frost here, and folks, along with that, right after the Cy-Hawk dual breakdown, I'm going to flash, as we talk about the weight classes, I'm going to flash up the updates that we're going to be talking about right after this in the individual weight class rankings, some of the changes that have happened in the past week. So as you see there, coming up here at 133, some of the changes that happened. But all right, so what we basically have a 3-3 right now, right, Kevin? 3-3, and moving on to
Yep.
141.
Yep.
Okay, let's talk about
Yeah.
141.
So 140. Yeah, 141 is interesting. So as you know, Swiderski was trying to go down to 41, and he did. He was, and I didn't know this until a couple days ago, but apparently he wrestled off Zach Redding, and Zach Redding won the first match against Swiderski, which is
Yep.
very surprising. And then the second match they wrestled, Swiderski blew his knee out. That's how that happened, supposedly. So Zach Redding he's looked pretty good so far in the matches that he's wrestled. So I'm going Redding here and a decision. His matches are usually low scoring. I'm thinking Redding about I don't know 4-3, 4-2,
Yeah.
something like that.
All right, we're going to have to disagree at some point, but I do agree. I'm going Zach Redding decision, but also coming up, folks, you see reflected in the rankings, Swiderski fell from him. Zach Redding added to our rankings. We have him at 18, and quite frankly, I've just not been impressed with Ryder Block thus far up to this point in the season.
Yeah.
Kevin. So I'm going to lean Cyclones there, but that takes us to 149 then.
Yeah, 149 is going to be a tight match. I think. Kyle Parko is looking. He had a tech fall over Jade Navas, right? And the first match, Parko went out there. He won by a point over Oregon State. He did not look good at all. Second match, he went out against Jade Navas and he teched him. He was a beast on top, and he apparently inherited that Iowa, wrist tilt ride there that Spencer Lee and Riel Woods were doing so well. So the thing is, though, man, Akamandia is tough on his feet, and he is strong, but Parko will go upper body with him. Parko has a good Greco background. I think that this match is going to be a 4-1 sudden victory. I'm going. I know this is going to be crazy, but I think Akamandia is going to win it. I think he's going to pull up a huge upset.
What? Really? This is
Yeah.
in Carver Hawkeye Arena. You know that, right?
I think that I know. I don't know why I'm even saying this. Everything tells me Parko, but my gut's telling me the other way. I think that it's going to be a 4-1. I think it's going to be nobody scoring. And then in overtime, I think that it's just going to Parko is going to take a bad shot or something, and Anti's going to swing around. That's what I'm feeling.
All right, man.
I'm going to give him that
going
match,
out on a
and
limb, I
everybody can
appreciate
call
it.
me crazy.
Well, yeah, you're a little crazy on that. I'm definitely going Parko. We have him 4 and 5 at our 149-pound rankings. But real quick, before we move on to 157, I want to mention Wrestle Matness, folks, who, up on the screen, they're working on a Cy-Hawk dual Matness as we speak for this weekend. That would be incredible, folks. Last weekend was incredible, probably the most fun weekend of wrestling experience I've had with the NWCA All-Star Classic there. And the Wrestle Madness, I did not win. It came down to the last match, though. And, we talked about it on the Friday night show, or the Saturday night live, but I'd take it down for unfortunate reasons, Kevin. But, that's part of the reason you got to join these lives. And,
Yeah.
maybe something
Dude,
that in the future, if you're a joined member, we'll add it to the members-only club. But, folks, Wrestle Madness, let's keep our fingers crossed, can come up with something this weekend. And, Kevin, you won the BEG Wrestling. We had the most group members in that. So talk about that a little bit before we move on to 157.
Yeah, we, you know what? I think those Wrestle Madness guys are awesome, and I think what they put on is awesome, and it definitely it's just like fantasy. It makes every match interesting. You're rooting for matches, even if it's one of those boring 1-to-1 matches, you're still rooting for it. They do a great job organizing it. They're really nice guys. They're very open and communicating with you, and I think they do a heck of a job, and it definitely brings a really good element into wrestling. So I think it's all plus. And if you haven't tried it, it's so easy. Anybody can do it.
There's
Go on there and check it out.
Steelers and Browns tonight. It's fantasy football, but for wrestling. It literally makes it like a fantasy experience for wrestling. It's a whole different level for someone like me, a younger, in my prime kind of guy. You know what I mean? But I'm just kidding.
Can I? Can I just ask you, why is it that you have to log into WrestleStat every time? It makes me go insane. Like
Okay,
it
well,
makes
they're
like why
also
can't you just
innovative. So maybe we can throw
yes,
them that. Let's get an auto log in there. But yeah, they're coming up with stuff as on the fly.
they
So
are awesome. I mean, I use that every day, not to talk, crap.
yep.
But anyway,
But all right,
so
move on. Let's talk about
157.
157 here. Right now, you have it
All right.
9-3 Iowa State. I have it 6-6 going to 157.
Yeah, 157. I'm curious to see how Panero's going to look. Listen, Teamer, I think, is feeling it over at Iowa. He said that he can't believe the shape he's in already in November, which is scary for the rest of the field. And
Yes.
I think that I
He
don't
talked
see
about that's been a
Panero Jeff.
problem in his past.
Yeah, oh yeah, man. He's kind of been lazy in the past too, where he'll beat guys, but he'll just kind of go through the motions. He's been like that since high school too, because he wrestled a good friend of mine in the state finals. Teamer won states 5 years in a row in New York, and he beat my buddy. He beat him like 2-1, no 1-0. He beat him 1-0 was the final score, and I was surprised that I did not think it would be that close. But it's just because he does what it takes to win. But
Mm-hmm.
he's feeling it in Iowa, and I think that this is a really good change of scenery for him. And
Tom Brown's built him
I don't
into
think,
shape, man. Yep.
yeah, I mean they'll do that, and I don't think
Yeah,
Panero
Iowa
can
room.
score on him. I honestly think that I'm going to go Teamer by major. I think that Teamer is going to. I think that it's going to start rolling, and the dominoes are going to start falling, and it's just all of a sudden it's going to get out of hand. It's going to be like a 10-2 match.
Yeah. Okay. I also have Teamer by major, but that with that being said, folks, you see some of the ranking updates we're going to talk about here shortly, but that makes it 9-7. You have Iowa State in the lead. I have 10-6 Iowa. All right.
All right.
All right. Let's move
All
on
right.
here to 165. Are these going to be your bets on Wrestle Madness if they get it up? I don't know, Kevin. Hold on, but all right, 165.
All right, 165. I got Caliendo by a major. I think it's just Caliendo by a major. Nothing really to say to that. I think Caliendo is by far the second best wrestler at 165. I don't think that there is anyone close, but not to branch off, but what I will say though is come March when Hunter Garvin either stops smoking a pack of cigarettes a day or gets into shape, whatever it is he's doing to dive off a cliff after 2 periods, he is going to be scary for anyone. And he does have the talent to do some damage on Mess and Brink. He is that good, but until he's in shape, forget it. Caliendo is the second best wrestler in the NCAA 165. I like him by major.
Okay, I agree. Also, Hunter Garvin currently, I think, fell to number 7 in our 165 rankings, but gonna have to agree with you there on Caliendo. That makes it 14-6. I have Iowa on top. That makes it 11-9. You have Iowa on top. Moving on to 174.
Yeah, I don't think Riggins was in Iowa not too long ago. And I think that this is going to be one of those really, really boring matches. There might not even be a takedown, but I think Brands will get it done by decision. And, I think I don't even want to go too much into it because there's not much to go into it. There's going to be a lack of shots, a lack of scoring, but Brands finds a way to win.
Yes, and I'm going to wager, if possible, that will probably be the most boring match. But yes, Nelson Brands will come out because his defense is incredible. Makes it 17-6 Iowa, my score. 14-9 Iowa, your score. Moving on to 184. Some big dogs here.
Yeah, Evan Bachman, he was a 197-pounder his whole career, transferred over from Utah Valley, where Bear Claw is now. And we actually called this earlier than anyone, I think, of him going down to 84 because it just made sense with Christian Carroll transferring over from Oklahoma State. And it looks like Evan Bachman isn't even exactly a big 184-pounder. It kind of looks like he should have been a 184-pounder the whole time. But anyway, he is wrestling really good. But I think Gabe Arnold in front of the home crowd is just going to – I think he's going to do – I think it's going to be a decision. I think it's going to be a 5 or 6 point decision. And I would have said more, but the fact that he won up against what the heck's that college's name? Bella something. They're probably like the 80th ranked school, and he only won 5-3. That kind of was concerning to me. So
Well,
I'm gonna go Arnold by decision.
okay. I am not worried. In fact, I have Arnold by a major. He's going to show up and show out in front of this Iowa crowd. He is a showman. Gabe Arnold's a showman. Yeah, against Bingham or whatever school you just said, Panera Bread. Yeah, he is not. Yeah, no one's watching. He's not. He's not out there on his A game. That's how Gabe Arnold rolls, dude. I'm telling you, he's going to come out. He's going to major.
It was
21 to 6.
it was
What's
I'm
that?
gonna pronounce it right. Bellarmine. I know I pronounced it wrong, but that was the
Oh,
college. Bellarmine, and he won 5-3. So
tea time,
that's
girls. All right,
um
we're close to the
this
same
match.
page. So I got a 21 to 6. You got a 17 to 9, and we're moving on. Let's talk about 197.
These next two matches, I'm really stoked about. I think
Yeah.
that um, first of all, Stephen Buchanan to me has already proven that he is the number one guy and he's the guy to beat. I watched him against Cardenas in the third and fourth place match in NCAA's, and the score was like 9-4. But there was at no point in that match was there a thought, this was when Cardenas was at Cornell. There was no point at the match where I was like, Cardenas can win this. I thought he controlled him. And this year, he just he looks really, really tough, man. And I think this is a good transfer for him as well, being at Iowa. He's been at Wyoming and Oklahoma. This is a good destination for him. And now, with that being said, Christian Carroll was weighing about 220 a couple weeks before the season, and we were wondering if he was going to even get down to weight. And not only has he made weight, he's looked great. He's looked fast. He looks strong. I think that I'm going to go Buchanan. I know I want Buchanan, but I think I'm only going to go by a decision.
Really?
Yeah, I know that. I think that Buchanan's going to win by about 6 points.
Okay. I have Buchanan by a major, but I'll tell you this. I could not be more excited to watch Christian Carroll. You see that interview of him talking? That boy is fired up. He is not intimidated to come. I think he is really looking forward to coming back here in this matchup, man. You see that interview with him?
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? I almost hope if they do go in order from 125 down, part of me wants, if the dual meet is like the score that you have it right now, I almost don't care because I want to see Christian Carroll open up. I want to see him. I don't want to see him try and not get majored if he gets taken down first. I want to see him just let it all out,
Yeah.
and see what he can do against Buchanan because this is going to be a really good measuring stick to see to kind of judge how good Christian Carroll is right now. So yeah,
And
I'm
to
pretty
go off
stoked
that,
about that.
Kevin, I think that's his best chance to win. To just go out there and completely let it loose, dude. And he's a bull, dude. I mean, I remember
Yeah,
watching him coming up in these Olympic trials and thinking, this kid is a bull. And I remember when we first came out
absolutely.
preseason rankings, I said, I think he's low. And he has moved up. So,
Yeah, man. We're like the only ones that even had him ranked. Nobody even had him ranked. Nobody was giving him any. And I'm like, man, if he can make weight, okay, then I think that he's gonna do well. And I mean,
yeah.
he beat Nick Stemmet already, and he looked really good doing that. He had a good win against a 14-5 win against Navy. So yeah,
Well,
we'll see because
on
this is
the
a good
screen,
matchup for him.
those rankings reflect him at 14. Our rankings, we have him at 11. Up to we'll
Yep.
talk about that shortly here. But Kevin, you mentioned weight. I got to mention a funny comment here. Juan Mogan says more like Hunter starving, cutting too much weight and losing his gas tank.
Oh, really?
Probably.
Well, here's the
Maybe.
thing. Here's the thing with that. Now listen, I don't know. Maybe that could be true. The reason I would second guess that is because we've seen this from Hunter Garvin before. Last November, and I've mentioned a couple times, he got tech fauled by Julian Ramirez. He lost to a Division II kid. He lost so many matches at the beginning of the year that when NCAA's came around, we were shocked that he lost first round at NCAA's and he almost did the KSAC. He won 6 matches in a row. He took fourth, but in a hard weight class. So I think that he takes a while to get in shape. And it's weird though because he had a great summer in freestyle. I thought he'd be coming in shape, but it just kind of goes to show you that freestyle is a way different animal than folk style as far as being in shape. But
Yeah, it
maybe
is.
he is having weight trouble. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll find out maybe as the season progresses. But Kevin, let's wrap this up at heavyweight because we got rankings updates to talk about, and this could be arguably the best matchup of the whole duel.
Yeah. You know what? If you would have asked me before the season started this match, I would have been real not. I would not have been too sure about this. I feel like Heater looked great during the U20s and everything. I feel like the folk style, I have yet to see him really look like himself or open it up or look like have a wow moment. You know what I mean? With that being said, too, though, Bastida seems to always be injured. Like what's going on with him? He didn't go to the All Star. He hurt it. He stubbed his toe or something at NCAA's, and he was. Remember, he was saying,
right?
yeah, he broke his finger or something. It's like, come on,
we
man,
didn't
you just
hear
do
about it until after he lost. Cause
He's like, oh yeah, and it's like, dude, you see Vito, man? Vito had his finger falling off, literally. Then he got stabbed with scissors.
He just had his first surgery, and we didn't hear about it at all while he was wrestling. I mean, but
no, man, it's
Bastida did, but okay. I hope Bastida's healthy. I got Bastida by major here, Kevin, to make it 25-10 Iowa final. What do you have?
I got Bastida by decision because I just don't know what kind of shape he's in yet. It's early season, so I think Bastida by decision.
Okay, so Kevin, your final score is 20-12 Iowa. Mine is 25-10 Iowa. Seems like no path of victory for the Cyclones, unfortunately. Or is there a path? We had some people talking about a path.
There is. Now, with that being said, when you're saying path, you're saying that every one of these things has to go right for them. And we know that just doesn't happen. I think their best shot to beat them was last year. I know it was. Because you look at last year, even if Chittum, like he might even had that takedown at the end against who was it? Franek, right? Mm-hmm. And if they would have given him that takedown at the end, Iowa State would have won that duel. That's how close that duel was. But, is what it is. I think that if they're going to win, they have to absolutely 100% win 125, 133, 141. They have to win 285. So that's 5. And then when I'm looking at this, I don't see a scenario where they get more bonus than Iowa because of Caliendo and Teamer. I would say that the other match would have to be that 149 upset, I'd say. I think they have to win 6 matches to win this duel because of the bonus. I don't think if they go 5-5, I don't see them winning. So I think they got to win 25, 33, 41, 49. So the first 4 matches and then the last match. That would be my I'm sorry, that's only 5, right? That's only 5 I named?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so what the heck else are they going to win? Maybe Nelson Brands loses.
That's
I mean, I'm telling you,
maybe Carroll comes out like a bull you never seen before. It's going to take some magic, but
yeah, because I just don't see a scenario that Teamer, Caliendo, Arnold, or Buchanan lose. I just don't see them. The only thing I could say is maybe Nelson Brands. But
hey, Nelson Brands
we'll see.
Great. So we're gonna find out, folks. This is Saturday. And, hey, along with that, we're going live instant reaction on BEG Wrestling right after this Saturday, folks. So that's happening. But, Kevin, I saw some comments of Bo Nickel win. Well, maybe we'll have time to talk about it. Kevin, why don't we go right into some of these rankings updates because we have a lot to talk about, and we never end up leaving with enough time to actually talk about them. So
this is true.
Am going to... and we put more work into that.
We put so much time into these rankings. Well, you got to deal with me too, because I know that you're putting them in, and then I'm like, oh wait, this guy just transferred. This guy's not redshirting anymore. And there comes a time where it's like we got to just cut it off, because it's just like
website updated and everything. But Kevin, let's burn through this rankings updates, folks. As of today, November 21st, here we're starting at 125. Some of the big moves: Jor Volk up 3 spots to number 2. We have Vincent Robinson up 3 spots to number 7. Maximo Renteria up 7 spots to number 10, and Cooper Flynn up 8 spots to number 12. Kevin, why don't you talk about some of these moves here?
Listen, the way that Volk wrestled at the All-Star Classic, he is believing that he's the best guy at the weight, and he went out and he looked like it. And I think that he has a very good shot at winning a national title this year. I think that he's going to go out and he's going to focus on being consistent, something that 125 pounders didn't seem to do last year. And I moved him up to number 2, and I think that I had no doubt in my mind about that. I know Figs got injured in his match. I don't know what's going on with him, but even if he wasn't, I was comfortable with making that move. Vincent Robinson just continues to look great. What a find that was for NC State. And then Renteria, man, he's a kind of a wild one. He's had really good matches this year. He looks like one of those guys that I think is going to get better and better throughout the year. And he's definitely someone that you want to watch out for. I could see him getting on the podium even. So we'll see with that. And then who else? Anybody else major moves here?
Cooper Flynn, man, the Minnesota, like the biggest rising team, or maybe second biggest rising team. We'll talk about it later, but
so Flynn, I mean, so I was going to say too, Renteria, he lost to Spratley in overtime. That's his one loss. But with Cooper Flynn, it's kind of funny, and I wasn't sure if I mentioned this to you privately or if it was last show, but he was at Virginia Tech, and I was baffled. Why is he transferring out to Virginia Tech? Why? You know, because he just did so good last year there, and it's Virginia Tech's loaded. And then I realized it's because Van Treska was hurt all last year, and he must have known that he can't beat Ventresca healthy. And apparently he can't, because the two had to wrestle last week in a tournament and Ventresca beat him. So that's why, he fell into Minnesota's lap. But he's very tough, very lengthy, hard to take down. Definitely someone to watch for.
Ventresca right ahead of him at number 11 ranked, Cooper Flynn at number 12. So that
there's a method to my madness, Zach.
We could very well see a rematch there, or them face off again in the future. But all right, Kevin, any final thoughts on 125 before we move on to 133?
Nope.
All right, folks. You can find all these rankings at begwrestling.com. And I updated the front page as well, so that link works. But all right, 133. Let's talk about it. Lucas Bird, the biggest mover here, up 4 spots to number 2. Wow. Braden Davis, all you Penn State fans, down 5 spots. Then we have Noto added. We had him at what, 125 previously?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he's going to go down to 125, and he's still very. Chances are he will go down to 125, but until he does, he's going to be in our 133 rankings until he does. So.
And then finally, our boy, Dom Zacconi, added back to the rankings up there at number 20. And then finally, Jacob Van D down 9 spots. Oh, my goodness. All right, Kevin, talk about some of these moves.
I had a really difficult time putting Bird in front of Bailey. Really difficult time. And the reason being is because I believe if they wrestle again, Bailey will win that match. But when you got a guy that beats a guy head to head like that, it's hard not to do it. He just proved it. But let's be real. If Bailey just doesn't pull the Ridge Lovett in the semis against Henson and taking neutral third period or top or whatever Ridge did, but Bailey chose neutral, he just had to choose down. There was no scenario that Bird was going to ride him for more than 30 seconds. So I don't know why in the world he took neutral, but it is what it is. So that's kind of why I did that. A really guy that's just really been real hot is Tyler Wells from Minnesota. And Minnesota is, like you said, they're doing real good. Tyler Wells, he beat McGonigal, who McGonigal was this close from being the Crookham. He lost to Crookham in that early season tournament last year in overtime, and then Crookham beat Vito in that same tournament. But you can imagine how that path would have went differently had McGonigal gotten the takedown instead of Crookham. So I think really highly of him. And then he also beat Kurt Phipps, and you might be saying, who is Kurt Phipps from Bucknell? Kurt Phipps beat Ayala this summer in freestyle and made it all the way to the finals of the trials. So he is real tough. So he had 2 huge wins, and I think he is definitely going to be a contender at the end of the year. And then we had Tyler Knox beat Ayala 15-11, I believe. Davis dropped a few spots, and here's the thing. I don't know. I hate pretending to know how hurt someone is, because it's not really fair for me to sit here in a chair and say that someone's not hurt. I don't know. But what I do know is he got a takedown in the match. He got injured, and then he went right back out and got another takedown right away. He wasn't limping. I think it was more of him just being tired because he was getting ridden hard, and an early season match. But I didn't think he looked too impressive, which I'm not surprised, because he was really using his weight at 125. He was a big 125 pounder, and I think that he's used to being able to do that, and now he can at 133, and I think that is going to play a role in how he does this year. But he is in one of the best rooms in the country, if not the best.
But, boy, is he not the biggest wild card in that room? Even last year he was a wild card. He goes into the tournament, the number 1 seed, doesn't even podium.
Yeah,
Braden Davis remains kind of a wild card there.
And remember when I picked that on our thing and that guy went nuts on me in the comment section? I said, Braden, he goes, you didn't pick him to podium? That's disrespectful. He's the number 1 seed. I'm like, I don't know, man. But
turned out to be true, folks. But
looking at, you got Brett Unger, who lost to Bird 2-0 in the finals of that last tournament. His matches are always close, but Jacob Van D, like you said, man, he had a really, really rough weekend, losing 2 matches, and very uncharacteristic of him to guys that I normally wouldn't see him losing to. So that was kind of shocking. I don't know if there's some kind of injury or something going on there. But yeah, I'm just looking real quick to see. Yeah, he lost to Ethan Oakley from North Carolina, and then he did lose to Zaccone from Campbell. And both those guys are good. They're both ranked, but still surprising that he did lose to both of those guys at the same day, actually.
And that was the Zaccone match is duel in the diamond, which that was incredible.
Yes. Yeah, that was cool.
Unfortunately, the rain delay, man, ended it, dude. But right before the claw match was about to happen live, I was really looking forward to that, but was able to watch it back on UFC Fight Pass. But, yeah, that was a great match, Zaccone at the end with the win. Overtime,
yep.
Right? Yeah.
Sudden victory. You got it, man. You like those Campbell boys, man.
Dude,
you're on top of those. That's awesome, dude.
Man. They grew on me.
No,
that
says a lot.
All right, let's.
Okay, so then looking at that, I think we're going. Yeah. One guy I just want to say to watch out for, Zeth Romney from Cal Poly. Kind of keep an eye on that guy. He's very good, and I think that he's going to continue to get better. And not a lot of people are really looking at him, but I think he's going to be. I think he's definitely going to be like round of 12 potential. And he barely lost to Tyler Knox 5-3, and he beat Cade Moore from Missouri 10-4. So he's tough, and he also beat Braxton Brown almost by a major. He beat him 10-3. So he's tough, real tough.
All right, keep
That's
your eyes
on
out,
that,
folks. Keep your eyes out, but let's move on to 141 here. Kevin, some of our big movers here. Kai Oreen up to number 9, up 6 spots. We have Sergio Lemley up 8 spots. Sean Carter up 13 spots, folks. And then finally, previously, we talked about it. Swiderski fell from the rankings. Zach Redding added to the rankings up at number 18th rank. Kevin, talk about 141.
Okay, so Sean Carter, I know a lot of people don't know who he is, but he won his first tournament he was in this year, which was very impressive. And since then, he just keeps kind of winning. He did get injured in a match, and I'm just trying to see what that match was. I can't remember where was that match. He got injured, but the thing is he was winning the match uh, pretty solidly, and it was a shame to see him go down. So hopefully he's okay. But yeah, he's going to be a contender to get on the podium, possibly. I think. I don't know why I can't find him on here, but anyway. Uh, and then we got Vance Bombard. I'm really impressed with. But with this weight class, it seems to kind of be that there's like the top three guys, and then maybe Brock Hardy on like an island,
Yeah.
and then you kind of got everyone else going down. And I know that let's see here, Latona beat Edmund, and
13
Redding
and
looks way
14
better
now.
than he ever has. Yep, yep, and it was a close match. But Chris Cannon, we haven't really seen anything out of him. He moved up from 33. I think he's had one match so far this year, but this is a weight class that the EIWA actually has a lot of really good guys in this weight, surprisingly. So yeah, I think that there's going to definitely be between the top three guys with Hardy on an island. Look for Vance to possibly move up into that island with Hardy. And that's
Okay.
that's kind of where I'm thinking with that weight class.
Keep your eye on Kyorine and Lemley there at 9 and 10 as well. But all right,
Yeah.
all right, good summary there. Let's move on, Kevin. 149. All right, let me get some of the updates up here, folks. Ty Waters up 2 spots. We have D'Amelio up 3 spots. Jesse Vasquez up 10 spots. Wow. Andrew Clark added to the rankings. Talk about it, Kevin.
Yeah, so checking this out, the this is one of the most interesting weight classes I think at the top, okay? Because I can't it's one of those weights where you can't really say, you know what, this guy's a heavy favorite because Caleb Henson, he wrestled an awesome tournament last year, but if you remember, he beat Ridge Lovett 1-0 in the semis, and Ridge chose top in the third period. I don't understand why he did that, and he lost. And also, Henson lost the week before at conferences to Arrington. So,
And
he's
Lovett
definitely
was a
not
pretty
a.
big favorite for the majority of the season last
Yeah,
year.
man. Everyone thought this was Lovett's year. And then he did the semi slide after he lost, which happens because
And
guy
Van
thinks
Ness was
he's gonna
hurt,
win or he's
right?
gonna. Yeah, Van Ness was not there last year. Now, I know a lot of people, especially Penn State fans, are going to be like, Van Ness, number one, next topic. But I watched Henson wrestle a match against Missouri, and I was so impressed on how tough this kid is. Henson rode him out the whole second period, and not only did he ride him out, he wasn't just riding, he was grinding him into the mat, and then right in the last 5 seconds, he turns him and gets back points to take a 5-0 lead. To me, that stuff that shows me a lot more than letting the guy up and taking him down. He just is good at all aspects of wrestling, and he's improved
I was
vastly
just gonna
every
say that.
single year.
Yeah, it's safe to
Yeah,
assume he's
it's
gotten better. He's better than last year, even with Van Ness back in the lineup and Lovett still there. You even had Parco there sneaking around at 4. I don't know. Could he
yeah,
crack the top 3?
Parco. The thing with Parco is he's a 4-time All-American already, but he's always been around that fifth or sixth place, seventh place. We'll see if the change of scenery does anything for him this year, and I cannot wait to see that 4-5 matchup. And Ty Waters, or I mean, I'm sorry, Ty Whalen and Cannon Webster were both red shirts last year. They're tough as nails. And the big Jesse Vasquez has actually really been turning it on surprisingly. And the difference between in a week is unbelievable. I mean, he almost got teched by Cannon Webster, and then all of a sudden he just starts peeling out wins against William McDougald, Maxwell Peterson, John Wiley, Finn Solomon, and I think that it's making sense to him, and he's looking a lot better. So
I guess
I
South
don't know,
Carolina
man.
out there in Arizona State, West Coast, man.
Yeah, man. It's a shame they had to give half their team to Iowa, but that's no, two
You sold
guys,
them to
not half their
Iowa.
team.
You
Watch
sold them.
watch for uh watch for Cross Washleski. He is really good. And he's really surprised me this year. He lost to Cannon Webster by 1 point, and it was a tight match. And he has a win over Jesse Vasquez already this year. So he's just got the one loss against Cannon Webster. And last year, his last match of the year, he wrestled Cannon Webster. He lost to him 7-3. Then this year, he loses 8-7. So watch out for him. I think he's gotten a lot better. But with this weight, man, I would say the top 5 guys, there's a I don't see Akamendi winning, actually. I would say it's a 3-man bracket, really, a 3-man possibility winning it, and with Parco and Akamendia. Yeah, Parco, Akamendia, maybe. We'll see. And that's not the normal. I know everyone thinks Ty Waiter sucks now. He doesn't. He's awesome. He just did not adjust at all. He stood straight up and just let Van Ness freaking destroy him. All credits of Van Ness, of course, but yeah, it should be a fun weight. Quarterfinals on at NCAA's.
Yep. All right, let's talk about 157. We're gonna move on here, and some big movers. Ed Scott up 4 spots. Ethan Miller up 8 spots. Joey Blaze up 4 spots. Teague Travis down 11 spots, and Seabrick fell from the rankings.
Yeah. So with this weight, it's kind of interesting towards the top because we don't. The only consistent thing right now is Teamer, right? Shapiro, we don't know what's going on. I really hope, as much as I love watching this kid, I really hope that I don't see him for a while. I really hope I don't see him at CKLV in 2 weeks. I really hope he goes and sees a specialist. Facundo, we've been on him being in the rankings this whole time, and instead of Kasak, and I was all proud of the decision for that until I saw Kasak at the All-Star, and I saw Facundo in the dual meet, and he was less than impressive. Now, I imagine he had to make weight for the wrestle-off, right? And it's not as huge as everyone thinks, okay? Because he wrestled 74 kilograms. He's always wrestled 74 kilograms, which is 163 pounds. So everyone's got to stop with how could he possibly have made 157? They keep confusing, I think, 74 kilograms with 174. He's never been a 174 pounder. He's always been 165 just because Levi was at 57 and he wrestled 74. So it's not a big cut, but he didn't look too impressive. We're going to see, which we'll get into. We'll see them wrestle likely in the Black Knight Invitational this weekend. So we'll get into that later. But, I would say Antrell Taylor is looking really good. He was an All-American at 165 last year, and he went down to 57. So we'll see how he does. Panero Johnson, we haven't seen him yet. This weight was the deepest weight class last year as far as if you're going like 1 through 24. This year, it's just anything could happen. I think that one guy I would definitely check out, Ethan Stiles from Oregon State. He is tough as nails. Really impressive this year. Jude Swisher's having a good year, and I know a lot of people are high on Rafael Hippolito from Virginia Tech. He's fun to watch. It's crazy that they just exit Andonian and enter Hippolito. It's an Andonian, he wrestles just crazy like him. And I would love to see those guys practicing together because that had to have been pretty wild. But yeah, look, Ed Scott, hopefully he gets back on the wagon there because he lost 2 matches in the same day. But yeah, that's it on 157. What do you think?
I think, man, my only thought, Teague Travis, I think might have been the only Oklahoma State wrestler that we've moved down in the past week.
Yeah, he let a big
way.
Yeah, he lost. Let's see here. He had a pretty disappointing loss. He lost to Ethan Stiles actually. So he's one seed behind Ethan Stiles because Ethan Stiles won that match, and it wasn't like I thought Ethan Stiles just looked better. Period. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure he'll get better as the year goes on, but
maybe a developing hole there for Oklahoma State, the Cowboys.
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll find out. But all
True.
right. Let's talk about 165. Gaetan up 2 spots. Will Miller up 5 spots. Tyler Liller up 5 spots. Andrew Sparks up 4 spots. And the brother added to the rankings, Montanana. Kevin, go ahead.
So real quick, just to jump back real quick at 57, one thing that you got to keep an eye on too is I know that Teague Travis is at 57, but Caleb Fish, who transferred in, has already wrestled 157 this year in a tournament, which was very surprising because we thought he'd just be at the Amin. So he is redshirting so far, but if Teague Travis does kind of take a slide, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but yeah, they do have Caleb Fish that can wrestle 57. But anyway, so 65, let's see. Now, one guy that we don't have the absolute like certainty on is Max Brignola. He supposedly is redshirting with Stanich. However, looking at the difference between Brignola and the starter they have in right now, I think it would be foolish to redshirt Brignola. He has been on fire. He's won both tournaments he's been in. He looks real good. He moved up from 157 last year, and I don't know why you would redshirt him, especially when you just got a 285 pounder Owen there to your team to make it that much better. I don't know why in the world they would have him redshirt, but we'll see. If he does come out, I think he's definitely a top 8 guy. Julian Ramirez, we're not going to see, and Chris Foca until the end of December, and I went into that another time. And Barraclaw beat Amin, but it was as close as a match can possibly get. Hall had the big pin over Garvin. Sammy Sasso, I know we might get some crap from this, but listen, Flo has Sammy Sasso third. I think that is just kind of wow. All right.
It's optimistic, to say the least. We have Kevin.
Yeah, man.
Join the line, Kevin. Sorry to interrupt, but keep finishing.
Oh, awesome. No.
On the line. I just want to let you know.
Get him on. Let's get him on.
Thank you, because I only got a second. I just wanted to come on, promote. We're going live right after this Cyhawk. Now, I kind of agree with both of you. I have a feeling, folks. I have a feeling even the matches that Iowa State loses, I think they're going to be right there to possibly win. So this is going to be a tremendously fun duel. But like I said, I just want to come on, remind everyone, Wayne Beaver's going to be on right after the Cyhawk duel. Third
That's
person,
right,
Wayne
Iowa.
Beaver. Whoa, wait.
I knew I was wondering. I'm like, why is he saying that?
And Wayne Beaver.
I'll tell you what.
Wayne Beaver's going to be on then. What about you, Zach Beaver? Kevin's going to join us.
Kevin Sure's a fan of Wayne Beaver.
Hey, Kevin, that video you put on our Facebook page, I got to tell you, I laughed at that. So that is just flat out funny. I had to play it a couple times. Did you see it?
On
you guys know
page. Only on the BG Wrestling
check
Facebook
out.
page.
We get some good stuff on the Facebook page, so check it out if you haven't.
Yeah, Kevin grabbed a clip from Seinfeld, and it just, hey, look, whoa, can we fit Gable's head through that door as we're bringing him back onto the college scene? I'm not sure, because Gable, people want to see Gable, But hey, I gotta go. I'm at work. I gotta go.
All right.
Great show, guys.
He'll be back
Thanks,
Saturday
Wayne.
night, folks. He'll be back Saturday night.
Later.
See you.
Later.
And see you, Wayne. Well, people call in. People in the chat, call in.
I think people forget
somebody has to
is in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody has to be angry at some rankings we've gone over so far. I know there's an angry guy or two out there that's going to be, wanting to tell us how we're wrong. So
says hi, chat. Never seen him on the chat before. Welcome to the show. Thanks
Welcome.
for watching. Like and subscribe. Call in if you want. This is live. We take any call-ins. Where's Marty been? I haven't seen Marty in a long, long time.
I know, man.
We need to hear from him out in Michigan. But
absolutely. Oh, real quick, Montanona. His brother, he blew his knee out or something. He's out for the season, but it's so funny because Brock, who is the same weight as his brother, and he had a big tech fall over Columbia, who was ranked in the dual meet, and he looked awesome. And he seems to be a character. I think both these guys are characters because he looked up at the camera and he gave it like a wink as he was tech falling the kid. It was pretty funny.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
you're kind of dude.
I like it.
But
I
yeah,
like it.
watch out, guys, to watch out for Scholes from Illinois. Definitely watch out for him. And also, I would say to Max Mayfield from Northwestern. Couple guys to watch out for.
All right. All right. I like Andrew Sparks moving up there. Is that Shane Sparks relation?
No, I
No?
always want to think that though. I don't know why. Big Ten guy,
Yeah, yeah. Well, that would have been cool. All right, let's talk about 174, man. Not a lot, but we have Karshla up a spot, Wolak down a spot, and Matt Singleton added to the rankings, Kevin.
Yeah, I watched the O'Toole Wolak match, and I gotta say, I wasn't really Wolak. It was so frustrating to watch. O'Toole was in on his leg 100 times, and Wolak just did nothing. He just tried to funk out of it every single time, and he did for the most part. And it was very frustrating, and he wasn't doing much of anything. It was honestly really disappointing to watch. And I just thought to myself, he is not going to come anywhere near the top guys wrestling like this. So hopefully that he fixes that up. But yeah, I think that
Nelson
he
Brand
can't.
still at 12.
You can't.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. I think that Lorenzo Norman definitely has a lot of potential.
Oh, I like him. He's fun
and
to watch.
yeah, it wasn't any fun to watch again. That was a big win against Brands. A hard guy to take down.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luca Augustine is having a great season so far. And let me see here. Yeah, everybody else, this is kind of just people are staying put, We haven't really seen a lot of Pinto yet. We'll see Ruiz has only got one loss this year to the guy ranked one spot in front of him, which in Contreras is looking really good this year. So that's a name you want to remember.
A Penn wrestler.
I think that I was really impressed with Levi Haynes, how he just dominated K. DeVos. He just from the top. When you got a guy that's just flat on his stomach like that and you got double legs in, you just own him. You know what I mean? He just owned him, and he was just beating him up. And there's no question in my mind that Levi Haynes is a 174 pounder and every bit that 174 pounds. And I don't know how in the world he made 157 last year. I don't even,
yeah.
I mean,
In hindsight, yeah, that's pretty incredible. I mean, that must have been miserable from him trying to cut that weight. But, man, I tell you what, if Levi keeps looking the way he's looking, we're going to have to talk about that number one spot here at 174, Kevin. But
well, we'll see him. We'll see him wrestle next month. Next month, we'll see him wrestle at the Collegiate Duels. O'Toole and Haynes.
All right.
So that'll be cool. And don't sleep on Dean Hamidi, man. Dean Hamidi with the new scenery. I don't have any confidence in what they got going on over there in Wisconsin. Dean Hamidi with David Taylor. Watch out for him.
Keep your eye on him. All right. Yeah, actually, that's a great point, man. I didn't think about that. Maybe we'll talk more about that next week, but we got to move on. Let's talk about 184.
Moving on up.
Some of these big changes here in the rankings. We have Max McNeely up 2 spots, Colton Hawks up 2 spots, TJ Stewart, down 7 spots. Yikes.
Yeah, man. He was what a disappointing match that was. He lost to Colton Hawks, and it wasn't really close. Like he wasn't winning the positions that normally you would see TJ Stewart win. He wasn't winning. And I was just really surprised that, the final score was 8-2. I mean, there's no way I saw that come. I didn't think TJ Stewart would lose, and certainly not by 6 points. With that being said, Colton Hawks looked really good. He looked really tough. And I was, in looking at his season so far, he's got a huge win over number 13, Brock Dilsignor. And Hawks is undefeated on the year. So he's having a heck of a year. TJ Stewart, though. Yeah, man. Moving on up. Like the Jeffersons.
TJ Stewart got kicked out of the podium club.
Yeah, and Dylan Fishback has been really inconsistent this year as well. This is a weight class of inconsistencies with the exception of the top 3 guys. The top 3 guys are very consistent. unfortunately for Plot, he's not going to even sniff the other two. Keckeisen dominated him last year every time he wrestled him.
Well, I know
I got a question.
I was gonna.
Go ahead.
Well, let me ask mine first. I was gonna ask you. You talked about inconsistencies, and I know you're a big Foca fan. Do you really think Foca beats Gabe Arnold?
Yeah, I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Chris Foca, it's easy to forget how good Chris Foca is. Chris Foca, the year before last, got third at the NCAAs. He went 30-2. His only two losses were Mekhi Lewis and Carter Starocki in the NCAA semis. He avenged his loss against Mekhi Lewis. He was very dominating. And then what happened is last year, he was going 174. He was all set to go 174. And they had the injury there to Lowe, their 84-pounder, and they decided to move him up. And I don't know if it was because they thought that he couldn't beat Carter, so they thought, move on out to 84. Some people do not handle that weight jump from 74 to 84 good at all. Edmund Ruth, for example. And he went to CKLV, and he was actually near the 174 pounds. He was at 177. He talks about this in an interview. And he went 184. He had two really bad losses. But then he put on some solid weight this offseason. He looks real big. Again, we're not going to see him in Julian Ramirez till the end of December because of the whole semester thing. But I absolutely think Chris Foca is someone that's pinned Dustin Plott in the first period at NCAAs. He's beaten Brand 7-2. Fluky. No, he
in fact, we got Rainbeck says Rainbeck says I smell home cooking, Kev. I'm going Gabe Arnold in that matchup, Kevin. Let's both do some home cooking.
I don't know, man. You got a guy that just beat a guy from Bella wherever 5-3, man. I don't know.
Okay.
I like Foca in that match. I do like Foca in that match, especially against Gabe Arnold, who isn't exactly a large 184-pounder.
Yeah, but he's a strong 184-pounder. Well, I mean,
he's fast.
I guess we haven't a lot to compare against, but yeah, he's definitely fast.
One question I want to ask you real quick. After watching Starocci and Keckeisen, what do you think the probability is that Starocci wins that match in the NCAA finals?
I actually think it increases after. I pick Parker. I pick Parker. Like what percentage?
Give me a number
now. Ooh, I think it's like 80% chance now.
I think it's like 99, man. From what I saw in that match, the only thing you can hang your hat on if you're a Keckeisen fan or if you're Keckeisen is the fact that he wasn't in great shape. Now, he does do those antics a lot when the walking around stuff. That's just him, man. He's always done that in those matches. It's just that you don't notice it until he's in front of the Penn State fans and they're going to jump on him for anything like that. And I think he was screwing with them. But when you watch that match, when he got in on Carter that one time, that drained the heck out of him. He looked exhausted after that, and he fought hard for the takedown. Yeah, I mean,
I was surprised.
I just don't see a scenario that like Starocci loses that match now after that. I don't know.
Well, I've seen wrestlers look vastly different. That's why I'm not going 99. 99, Kevin. Wow, hot take, dude. Incredible.
Yeah, I don't.
Wow.
I thought that was a very dominating, sudden victory win, if that makes sense.
Well, that weight class just became real boring. If what you said is
well, I'll tell you what, too, though. A couple guys to look out for is our number 7 and our number 8 guy. We already talked about Hawks, but Minnesota again, man.
Yes, Minnesota
definitely. Dude. They're gonna have some interesting duels coming up, and they're gonna surprise some people. And then obviously
NCAA fantasy representing BEG Wrestling on the Instagram NCAA Wrestling Fantasy Squad. It was like 35th pick.
Oh, really?
I got Minnesota. Unbelievable steal, I thought.
Dude, they're really good, and Max he's 4-0 this year with 4 tech falls. Okay, and he redshirted last year. And he went undefeated in his redshirt year. So he's 16-0. and he's got 75% bonus rate on those 16 matches. He's got a win over Saldana last year. A win. He tech falled Colton Hawks last year. He tech falled him.
Okay.
He is a bad dude, man.
Bad man there. A lot of bad men in Minnesota there now, Kevin. Let's move on. We're running a little long. Let's talk about 197, man. Some of the updates here. Luke Serber up 12 spots. Munoz down 5. Andy Smith added to the rankings, and Zach Glazier added to the rankings. Virginia Tech and South Dakota State University.
Yeah, so Luke Serber, he had a win over Trey Munoz, and it wasn't like it was a 5-4 win. It was a 5-0 win over Trey Munoz, which to me, that told me a lot. It told me that things are clicking for him, and he's definitely a benefactor of David Taylor being over there.
Looks like it.
He looks really good, and I'm not confident enough in anyone ranked below him to not put him up there after a 5-0 win over Munoz. His only other match this year's a fall.
I agree. And, dude, we're going to have to almost take a glance back maybe Saturday night. I want to see what this Iowa-Oklahoma State matchup looks like now. I mean, I talked about Teague Travis. I think it's the only Oklahoma State Cowboy who's fell in our rankings. We have some significant jumpers here, like Serber up until the top 5 and number 5th. I mean, that's big-time points difference there.
Absolutely, man. And we're gonna do it. I swear we're gonna do it. We're gonna get those NCAA team points out. Now that people are not moving all over the place every single week, is hopefully not.
Settle down a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll talk about Cochran and Barr when we talk about the Black Knight. But Munoz, man, I can understand why he wouldn't want to be at 184. Who wants to be in a weight class with Strachey and Keckeisen? And when you're looking at this, you're like, okay, you know what? Buchanan and Cardenas, you're thinking these guys aren't unbeatable. And Ferrari, you don't know if he's even going to make it through the year because of his antics. I will say this: that match with Sick was the most exciting. What was the final score? 2-1 or something? It was just so. It was
scoring match. Yeah.
Yeah, man. They were getting. It was blowing my mind. They weren't able to get a takedown on each other, but they were scrambling, and that was really exciting. Michael Beard is like Peyton Manning was in football, man, where he was just dominating in the regular season, and then he would just, get taken in the playoffs.
Yes,
Beard is that guy.
With Michael Beard.
Yeah, Michael Beard will win EIWAs. He'll beat everybody, and then he'll win 2 matches in NCAAs. But yeah, I'm curious to see how Christian Carroll does, and this weight is really up in the air, but I think Buchanan is the solid. We did move Ferrari in front of Cardenas, and that was strictly because just picturing those two wrestling, I don't know if Cardenas can beat Ferrari. I don't know if he has the confidence to, but we'll see.
Before we move on to heavyweight, did you mention Andy Smith? Andy Smith took over at Virginia Tech, replaced?
Well, it's for Sasso.
Yes.
Yes, for Sasso. Now, here's why. I think that Sasso is better than Andy Smith, okay? But at the same time, Sasso is injured. I don't know the extent of that injury. So that's kind of like why we did that. And then Andy Smith had a really good win over this past week, which got him up to number 13. And I hate when I can't remember. There it is, Andy Smith. He had a win. He beat Sinclair, which Sinclair's redshirting, but he scored 12 points on him, and he looked really good. And he always has been a solid guy. So yeah, that's why he's up there.
Solid hokey. Let's move on. Wrap this up. Individual.
You got it, man.
Finally, heavyweight, and then we'll touch quickly on the teams. It's another one of my boys there, Tay Gadiali, the Campbell kid, up to 5th in the rankings. And Owen Trafan added to the rankings, replacing – who did he replace at Lehigh there, right?
Nathan Taylor there. Nathan Taylor blew out his knee, yeah. So a couple things to touch on here that, by the way, everyone, in Facebook, or even on this YouTube chat, but Facebook definitely. Rankings are to talk about, they're to get conversations going. I love it. I don't think that I'm above talking about any situation, and if anything, I intake any information and knowledge I can from people, and I like having a conversation with them. So please, by all means, if you see something that you think is not right, talk to me about it. Talk to Zach about it. Talk to Wayne about it.
You can
What I
call in
don't
live and
like
we
is
can
when
talk
people,
about it. How about that?
yeah, anytime, seriously. What I don't like though is if you say these rankings suck, or dude, give me something to go on. Tell me why. Tell me why they suck, because I can't argue with like that. That's just such
What
a
are you talking
broad
about?
statement.
You talk about getting some kickback for Gotti Ali getting moved up so high, Kevin?
No, there was a couple of people, which we're cool now. I talked to the guy on Facebook. I told him, I go, come on, man. I go, give me some examples. And he gave me some examples, and I went through, and and one of those examples was Gable Steveson being first. And I was like, all right, I don't even have to give the very broad answer of everyone's going to have him number one, because we do our own rankings here, and we don't look at everyone else's rankings. But what I would say is this. I gave him these couple points. I go, I know he hasn't wrestled in 2 years, but when Yanni Diakomahalis wrestled his true freshman, true sophomore year, he had an Olympic red shirt. They postponed the Olympics to the next year, and then he did another Olympic red shirt. Thank goodness, because there was no NCAA tournament one year and there was no Ivy League the next year. Then he came back, and nobody batted an eye on ranking him number one, even moving up a weight class to 149, even though he had missed 2 years. So here you got a guy who is a two-time Hodge winner, two-time NCAA champ, and an Olympic gold medalist, who has beaten everyone in the field. And that is where, I mean, if we were putting it at number two, we would just be kind of like, and I'm not saying that Kirk Fleet can't win this match, but Gable Steveson is number one. He's going to be number one in the rankings.
I don't like this for Kirk. I tell you what style I do like matching up to Gable. Gotti Ali. Maybe
Absolutely,
maybe a little
Zach.
Reminiscent of Anthony Cassar. Could you say?
Zach, that's the smartest thing you've said all day, and you've said a lot of smart things.
Well,
A lot of smart things.
I don't know.
No, Zach, I'll tell you what. He is like the Hunter Garvin of 165. I don't think anyone can touch Messenbrink, but I think an in-shape Hunter Garvin could, if I had to pick, if someone told me Messenbrink lost to NCAAs, I would say Hunter Garvin's the one who beat him.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody told me that Gable Steveson lost at NCAAs or lost at all, Tay is the one who I'd say, because he has the athletic ability. Yep, he has the athletic ability, and man, did he look good against Feldman. He just looked awesome. So guys that have that ability, absolutely.
Every time I've seen him, I feel like he gets just a little bit better, by the way. And, I watched him live there at the wrestle-offs, and, I'm impressed with him. I can't wait to see what he does.
Yeah, me too. I'm really excited about that. To talk about the total opposite of Colton Schultz, who's one spot behind him, which I was laughing so hard, man, when you were talking with your dad on the Tuesday episode about you lost on a stalling call in overtime.
Yeah.
Like, that's so lame, man. That says it all. But, big pickup for Lehigh, though, getting Owen Treffin, who was behind Isaac Trumbull. The thing that blows my mind is, how do we have guys just transferred schools in the middle of the semester? Apparently he wrestled unattached or something, but still, it's so bizarre. But yeah, that's a huge pickup for them, especially since they just had Nathan Taylor blow out his knee.
Yeah.
He was, an All-American contender. But yeah, man, it's all about, Gable, Kirk, and Hendrickson. We'll see how Bastida does, and then Tay. I think that
I want to see Tay versus Wyatt Hendrickson. I think that would be a fun match.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Aren't you going to bring it up? Going Hendrickson off the podium,
off the mat. I know, I'll never forget it, dude. I can't get that thought out of my head. But all right, man. And final thoughts on heavyweight, and I just want to move to the team rankings quickly.
Let's go to the team rankings.
Okay, basically, really one team we hold, folks, as you can see, the same top three. Although we're gonna really deep dive into these Iowa there at number 2 and Oklahoma State at number 3 because there's been some, like we talked about, significant changes there. But, folks, you can click into any single team here in the top 20 to get their individual lineup. You can do this weekly updated. But, Kevin, I want to talk about the biggest team mover this week. It's Illinois, carried by Lucas Bird, baby.
Yeah, look, when you look at their lineup, Zach, they are just solid from top to bottom. They have 2 guys that are unranked at 125 and 157, right? But these 2 guys are honorable mention. They're right there.
Right
It's
on the
not like
cusp.
they're they would be definitely between, if we went to 32, they'd be between the 24 and 32.
Okay.
Then I'm watching how Scholes is just doing so well this year. We watched Brognagel. I mean, that was the closest possible match against Little there. Luke Luffman, big wins this year.
Yes.
Cannon Webster we knew was going to be a stud. And then you got Lucas Bird beating Bailey. They're the only disappointing guy in this whole, and I hate to say that, to single him out, but I don't know what's going on with Edmund Ruth. It might be the jump. It might, but like I said, Foca had that happen last year to him. He wasn't losing matches like this, but
come on,
still,
man, for the sake of the squad, Ruth, let's get it together, man. Because, dude, we need to talk more about this program. Who's our head coach?
Yeah, I mean, if Edmund Ruth is like having the same success he had last year, I mean, this team is even higher. I think that they definitely are. I think that they have potential, honestly, to get 5 All-Americans.
Well, Kevin,
so
you
I mean,
talked about
that's a heck of a team.
We underestimated them up till this point of the season. We had them at the 19th or 19th ranked last week. They jump all the way up to 9th, and now we're talking about them with a chance to podium, man.
Yeah.
Do you know who their head coach is? Because I'm going to find out. I need to find out. We need to find out. Because whatever his or her name is doing a heck of a job out there.
What is the name?
Putting this squad together.
I forget.
Lucas.
Yeah, no, they did it the right way. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have a bunch of portal people. Illinois is such a good state in wrestling.
Hold on, look at this.
Anyway,
man. Juan Mogan winning chat MVP today, dude. Maybe I should hand out like a weekly chat MVP. Mike Poeta is the head coach.
Yes, thank you.
Juan is on it, dude. That's what
so
I'm
obvious,
talking
man.
about, dude.
Yeah, Mike Poeta, who wrestled at Illinois. Thank you very much. But yeah, this is my fault. I wasn't really high on Illinois at first, and I think it's because I had to see, when you got these guys that come in that are right around like the 20s, I had to see if they were going to excel or if they were going to sink, and every one of these guys has excelled. So I'm definitely impressed by them. They're a trophy contending team. They're a trophy contending team.
Legit,
if everything goes right.
Filler episode, we should just have some matchup breakdowns. But Kevin, any other teams you want to mention? And then I know there's just a couple other things you wanted to mention going on this weekend that you've mentioned as well. But go ahead.
Look for Minnesota. I know we've talked about them. Look for them to move up. Right now they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys ranked in the top 10. 6.
Look at Minnesota's squad. That's unbelievable.
So they might even be undervalued right now.
I think they are definitely a top 10 team.
Yeah,
Kevin, we got to move them in. And then
they got to move
Cooper
in.
Flynn. Cooper Flynn at 125 has a chance to podium there. I'm telling you, man.
They have they could, if everything goes right, man, they could have. I don't see Sparks or Whiting or Roberts podium, but still, it's not like it's possible they could have 7 guys. I'm not saying it's likely, but it's a ceiling of 7 All-Americans.
Could not believe
they're the only team.
Draft.
They're the only team ever to have 10 All-Americans, as we all know.
Wow. I'm rooting for. I'm a Minnesota Gopher fan this year, since they're representing BEG Wrestling in that. I gotta find them, put them in the tag them in the description. Kevin, I also linked the description to some Cy-Hawk dual history in our description.
Yes.
But go ahead. Any other final team thoughts before we kind of move on?
No, Zach, you do a great job. updating these. This is such a nice feature. I mean, everybody should use this. Go in and match teams up.
Boom. Are you a
See
Little
how
Rock
this team
fan?
matched against
Look
this
what your
team.
lineup looks like. Boom. Are you a Arizona State fan? Boom. Lineup. NC State, any team here. If they're in the top 20, folks, we're posting their full lineup, and it's updated weekly. So check it out at begwrestling.com. And but Kevin, we got other stuff happening this weekend, man. We talked about the Cy-Hawk duel, but it's not the only thing going on.
No, there is a lot going on this weekend. We have the Black Knight invite that Army puts on, and might not sound too exciting, but the reason it is exciting is because Penn State is bringing just about everybody there, which is awesome because this is the only tournament we're going to see all year before conferences that Penn State brings their guys to. Maybe they bring like a couple guys here and there, but as far as bringing the team, this is it. And they're going to use this for a large part of their wrestle-offs. I'm not saying that this will be the solely based on this, but as you see here, you got Facundo and Kazak are at 157. That's going to be a very, very tell for scale on who he's going to put in there. It's not, and I've said this 100 times. You cannot base it on a wrestle off because as a coach, your goal is to score as many NCAA team points as possible. If you got a guy that's winning the wrestle off, but that the guy that loses that wrestle off is just dominating and against the field where the other guy struggles, kind of like the Camacho beating Vince Robinson in the wrestle off, and then Vince Robinson winning the tournament and teching people that Camacho's losing to. It's a perfect example. You don't go with the wrestle off. You go with the guy that's going to get you the most NCAA points. So that's why something like this is so important. Also, you got Barr and Cochran at 197. Mirasola is going to be in there too, but Mirasola is going to be redshirting. But it is interesting that he's in there. You kind of see how he looks compared to Barr and a Cochran, although next year I'm almost certain that Barr will go down to 84, more his weight. Also look for what I heard was that Lillendahl and McHenry actually had a very close match in their wrestle-off, like extremely close. So that's something to check out. Yeah, we kind of listed. No. Don't worry, Zach. Don't worry. We're not going to look goofy on that one. But also Davis, we'll see how he's doing. The guy behind him, Ethan Bergink, beat Noto this year. And then you see Todd Carter is actually a ranked guy behind Bartlett there. Shane Van Ness's weight is pretty weak. I imagine he blows through everyone. And then Messenbrink, same thing with him. I mean, Gunner's good, but he's not on that level. Levi Haynes' weight is not very competitive at all. But we'll see. Lucas Stoddard was the U23 World Team member, and he actually made the semifinals of Worlds, but he's a different animal in freestyle than he is in folk style. I don't see Kirk having any problem at all with him. So yeah, we'll see. I'm really looking forward to hopefully we see 97 and 57 in the wrestle off. I mean, if you think about it, Zach, how bad has anybody wanted to see a wrestle off, the Penn State wrestle offs? We get a chance here pretty much to see the Penn State wrestle offs. So that's awesome. Yeah, that's going to, also this weekend we got the Keystone Classic, which we posted some, I put kind of like the big dogs in there. Not that there's a ton of them, but you could have a Ventresca and a Gallagher. Gallagher's a U23 member, and very tough for Penn. I got Noto and McGonigal and Miller. Miller's always been at 25, but I guess Gallagher beat him out. But McGonigal and Noto, we'll see. I think this might have a big say if Noto goes down or not. If he gets roughed up by McGonigal, I imagine he does go down.
That's interesting, yeah.
41 has got a tough Composto and Henson and Latona. The Cross Wishlowski there, he is really good, but he's got Henson. Sorry, I'm trying to read this thing. It's like microscopic. My eyes are going.
Yeah, I know. So am I.
Yeah. Besides that,
one final one. Don't forget the Ivy, right? No,
yes,
you're talking rankings. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so there is a Cornell Big Red Open, but it's garbage. It's just like Binghamton and all these other schools. It's a round robin. I hate round robins, man. I don't know. They're probably because I'm so like I don't like following them. They're a pain. Like the Journeyman was a nightmare to
I agree with
follow.
that.
The
Yeah.
round robin, I can't deal with all that. Um, but yeah. So Zach, we are. Oh, hold on one second. I do want to just mention real quick. There's a great dual meet on tonight. Um, with Missouri and Illinois, Zach.
Shut up.
Number 11 versus number 15. Yeah,
Well,
that's
happening
actually
tonight,
going.
folks. Is that
That's
happening right
going
now?
on at 8 o'clock. It's on the Big
Ooh,
Ten.
you gotta pick
Or,
either
wait,
boring Browns football versus the Steelers or some fireworks. Illinois, who just leapfrogged Missouri in our team rankings, folks. Oh my
yeah,
goodness! Hold up, let me bring that up. Oh,
yeah, that's
look,
gonna.
we
I
got
think that Illinois
Missouri.
is gonna.
Let's do a little quick.
Yeah,
Okay, we
throw it
got
up there,
Missouri
man.
here, currently ranked 15th with Sertan, Cade Moore, Josh Edmond. It's gonna be tough for me to look at.
I
both
just
of
saw.
these at
I
the
just
same
saw that
time, but
comment by Juan there that you put up. That would be hilarious. Watch
what's that?
Mirasola.
Oh,
Mirasola. That would be funny.
dude, that would
Um,
actually be. But folks, we got number 9 versus number 15 tonight. Illinois versus Missouri. You're seeing the Missouri lineup there on the screen, and we just talked about
yeah,
Illinois.
I don't know if Certain's going to be there, but
Is
everyone
that on
else,
Flow?
and I don't know if Rocky Elam's going to be there. Might be Sinclair. No, it's on the Big Ten Plus. I don't know what is that. What do you got to pay? What, $10 or something to get that? Get
Whatever
yet
it is.
another
I've already paid it. I've
membership?
already paid everything. I already paid
Yeah,
a whole year USC Fight Pass by accidentally clicking the wrong
I know. I
buttons,
have
dude. And
so
it's
many
unbelievable.
subscriptions. So many subscriptions. But yeah, then there's Indiana, Columbia, whatever tonight, and then other good dual meets. We got let's see, Saturday. Not a whole lot going on. Sunday we got, or I'm sorry, Saturday we have the
Cyhawk, right?
Cyhawk.
Yep.
And also Utah Valley and NC State. Utah Valley's got a couple good guys, outside
Yeah.
of Barraclaw. Hofstra goes to Ohio State. Let's see, Arizona State and Oklahoma State. Not a bad duel.
Arizona
There will
State,
be some good
Oklahoma State.
matchups. Yeah, there will be
Yeah.
some good matchups on that for sure. Maybe even I don't know if Figs is still hurt or not, but a Figs Spratley match could be good.
How about
Um,
Colton Schultz and Hendrickson?
yeah, yeah, there you go.
There's a
Um,
potential matchup there, folks.
and also Julian Shabov against possibly
Klebo.
Cale Hughes. There's a lot of good, a lot of good
Klebo has the
matchups in
edge
there.
there. Klebo will win that.
I don't know. Just for the record too, Caleb Larkin. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know. It's hush. I can't find out, which is rare that I can't hear anything. But supposedly he's injured or he's got something going on. That's why he's not ranked. When we know more and we see him on the mat, he will be ranked. He is tough, but we can't put him in if we don't know what's going on with him. So hopefully we
If
see
anyone
him
out there
sometime
does
soon.
know, let us know.
Yeah, let us know, man. South Dakota State and Northern Iowa on Sunday
Whoa!
as well. That's another good duel.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
Also got Campbell in Minnesota, and Campbell has a lot of guys ranked. A lot more guys than you'd think.
Campbell's good.
M-
Wow, look at some of these
Michigan, Virginia.
you just mentioned 10 versus 14. That's on Sunday, right?
Yep. Yeah. So watch out for these duels, man.
Folks,
Campbell and
and
Minnesota. I gotta go get Big Ten Plus, man. There's too many duels I'm
you're gonna
missing
have
if
to
I
get
don't
it.
get it.
And then
The
before
Cyhawks
the
on
match
that
starts,
too.
go to BEG Wrestling, folks, and you can find these matchups. Click them. You're one button away. You can just stack them and look at them side to
Yeah.
side. You're one
It's an
click away.
awesome
We got
feature.
incredible matchups this weekend.
Yep. So
Incredible
there's a lot
wrestling,
to
Kevin.
watch. And then the 2 weeks after that is CKLV, so which we'll talk about next week. But the other thing that I just wanted to mention real quick, Zach, is this. I thought this was interesting. The EIWA is separated into 2 leagues, which that's not very interesting to me. But what is interesting is the fact that they are having a dual meet championship. Wow.
Yes.
What a
Glad
brilliant
you remembered to
idea.
mention that. Yeah.
So, yes, good,
I
good,
put a
good
link.
on them.
I put a link to kind of a description and summary to that as well in our description, folks, if you want to check out more about that. But how many times have we talked about that, Kevin? Oh,
It's
finally.
just a no-brainer, man. And they used to have it. Like, I remember Cornell did really good in 2009, 2010 there when Dake was there. But this is great, man. This is more matches. I know that it's not the most exciting thing with the EIWA, especially with now that the Ivy League is separated, which, by the way, for those that don't know, as you can see on the screen, Zach's got the EIWA. Those are the two divisions. The Ivy League is no longer going to be in the EIWA. Now, the EIWA used to be the largest conference. There was about 20 guys in the conference, so when EIWA's was decent because there was so many law of large numbers, so many that you'd have a good top 4 or 5 guys. I hate the fact that it's the Ivy League separated because it's a joke now. I mean, you look at Cornell, Columbia, Harvard, Penn, Princeton. You're just like, I'm looking at it going, what is this crap? Like, seriously, like Cornell was getting like 7 guys in the finals of EIWAs. Now they got like, what a joke. There's 6 schools and it's like, it's horrible. I don't like it at all. I think it sucks, but what are you going to do? But yeah, anyway, back to positive stuff. Let's get conference tournaments, man. Dual tournaments. How cool would that be?
Ooh,
Knock it out in one day, man.
That'd be fun.
And then maybe that leads to a national duels, but we can only have 20 matches now a season. Can't have more than that.
Well, Kevin, one step at a time. Maybe we'll get there, man, if we keep pushing. But we pushed pretty hard tonight. We're going on an hour and a half live, dude. This might be our longest.
Yeah,
one ever.
that's all. I don't want to kill people here when we're talking. So
we got wrestling starting, folks, in 30 minutes now.
Yep, check it out, man. Great dual meet. Great dual meet.
It's Illinois, Missouri, right? Is that right?
Yep. And like I said, anybody that
Cyhawk tomorrow, baby. Let's go, dude.
Rock and
roll.
roll.
We're going live again. We're going to be back not tomorrow, but Saturday night live. Cyhawk dual reaction. So fasten your seatbelts out there in Iowa, folks.
Thanks
Kevin?
so much for watching, too. Appreciate everybody.
Like and subscribe. I always forget to say like and subscribe. And, share it with your friends or something, dude. So,
what, buddy?
Look at him. Look at Liam.
He is ready to roll, right, buddy?
Let's play
High
Liam
five.
some outro music.
Give me a good one. Yeah.
Liam, can you give us a "We Are Here"?
Can you say "We Are Here"?
Yeah, here.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. All right. Gotta go out on that note, folks. Until Saturday night, check out the website, begwrestling.com. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. BEG Wrestling, baby.
Thank you.